Java library class string comes with a combination of useful methods to manipulate text data. Basically, it's a string of characters. So there are methods to extract information from the existing string, or there are methods that make an impression that they modify the content of the string, like try to replace or concatenate strings. In all these situations, it's good to remember that the modification of the string isn't possible. Methods such as replace or substring will always return a new copy of the string with the new content. So the strings are immutable. And if you're trying to solve a task related to text processing, you will definitely find some useful methods inside the string class and be able to solve your challenge. In addition to print and printline methods that comes with System.out stream in Java library, we also have a pretty useful method that is named printf, which is print formatted output. So there are two possibilities with printf. It basically will take a string, or it will take a format string and a list of arguments which will be embedded in this formatted output. So when printf has both of these, format string and argument list, the data will be merged into the formatted string, and here's an example. So the format string, which is the first argument, is an example is right here. And what it has highlighted on the slide, we have format specifiers. Format specifiers begin with %sign. So the %sign, which uses a specific format specifier, will allow you to convert values in the output stream, in the resulting format string in the output, as well as round values such as floating point numbers, as well as justify with additional space to the right and to the left. And so these are some really useful possibilities. Here we have an integer, but we also convert, so these are centimeters, so we're trying to convert centimeters to inches, and so we use this formula for conversion. And here, of course, we're using double floating point value, so of course this expression, when we divide, is promoted to double floating point, and here is the format specifier for the first placeholder of this output, and so the result is right here, and this format specifies that we would like to display 2 decimal digits in the precision of the output. So the precision will be essentially rounded to 2 digits after the fractional, the decimal point in this output. And the second place in this argument list is occupied by an integer, and here we'd like to just simply print in this integer. So integer 15 is printed right here. So format specifier for general character other numeric types has the following syntax, and what comes here with square brackets is just showing that these are optional parts. Basically there's only one part. There's the %sign and the conversion part that have to be present. Everything else is optional. And we have some examples of possible values right here. So the argument index is an integer indicating position of the argument in the list. So you can specifically refer to a specific part of your argument list, which is the second parameter with printf method output. So we can try it like this. For instance, here, if we duplicate this print one more time, so I'll just copy this and make a copy of this statement right here, change it to printf. My format string may look like this, description, and description, I will use %2 $s, and then code will be %1 $d. Okay, so something like this. So then we will use code and description as our parameter list for printf, and we can also add %n at the end. So here, this is my parameter list. So let's give this a try and see how this works. Okay, so this is what gets printed as a result. So you see that I am printing a description widget, and the code is 123. So notice how this argument index allows me to dive into specific list positions, and the first position on the output list is position 1, and then the second position is position 2. Just remember that you have to specify the $sign after the position, which will explain to printf that this is an argument index that we're using. And the supported conversions are S for resulting string that I'm using right here. You can print individual characters, you can print integral values, you can print floating point in scientific notation, for instance. You can also print a %sign with double %. So if you need to print a %, you have to double it. And %n, like I'm using here in my example, just simply prints a platform-specific new line character. So we have a few examples in this handout, and I would encourage you to type these examples into your own coding window and try to change or modify various parameters of printf method, formatted print, and see if it matches your expectations, and you can get started with these examples. So these are just a few examples and more examples of output and what to expect in the output. There is probably no reason to try to memorize these output formatting characters and all of the options that are available with them. But if you're looking for something specific, you can always look it up in the documentation and then play with your own sample just to see if you get the output that satisfies your format.